All right, hey everybody, welcome to Kitchen Talk, episode number 3. And today I have actually a really cool guest. His name is Ian Brown, and most of you don't know Ian because he does a lot of behind scenes for me. And basically, what you see for me is because of him. So tell us, what do you do specifically for me as a realtor?
Well, just kind of behind the scenes is a great way to kind of explain it. You know, I do all.
I call him the Jedi Master.
You know, it's the thankless job. You know, it's the one that
that it is.
When the advertisement goes out, when the camera's rolling, I'm setting everything up behind the scenes. Rob just gets to sit here and look cute. So. And then it's my job to go back there and make him look as good as possible.
Yep.
But on top of that, we also, talk about marketing homes,
Yeah, so let's be,
Yeah.
I always like to say, if you want to be terrific, you've got to be specific. So when I come to someone, let's say if I come into your house and you want to interview Shanks Realty Group to sell your home, Ian is a big part of what I have to offer. So he does my professional photography, my video, which is top, in my opinion, in St. Louis. And we do Facebook advertising, and basically he's what takes your home with its imperfections and makes it look super sexy. And he does all of the behind scenes work. So people all they see is what's like right here in this frame, but tell them about just all of the audio visual equipment and everything that goes into what you do.
Well, what you don't see is the microphone that's up here, the $3,000 camera that is recording us, the $500 lens, the $200 tripod.
It's a lot of stuff.
You don't. That's the type of thing you don't see, but at the same time, it's not meant to be seen. It's meant to be it's a tool to create a visual experience for someone else to have, to make them love and want to sell or buy or sell your home.
Exactly right. Not to mention, we do drone video, so if we need to do aerial photography or video,
depending on the property,
right?
It
depends.
There's certain properties that from above just don't look great. You've got 5 trees that are covering up the house. No one's going to see it anyway. So it all depends on what the
Talk about Keller Williams Command and our Facebook advertising platform. Like how that works, right?
That's a can of worms right there.
It is.
But
I think people are really interested in that because it's a world that it's a world they experience when they're doing this on their mobile device, but they don't know what goes into it.
So I'll give you a very short synopsis of this, but essentially behind Facebook, there's a app called the Business Manager, and that Business Manager is where all of the major corporations, is all the way down to the smallest entities out there, can run Facebook ads. I mean, there's people who do things like drop shipping, which is a thing where basically they source cheap products from China, and then they'll have it shipped directly to you. They even run Facebook ads. A lot of times you're scrolling through and you see a cheap Chinese made product. That's not a Chinese company selling it to you. That is a kid in his basement, running a Facebook ad to try and get you to buy whatever product or service he's selling. And so we use that in a more professional manner to market homes. For instance, we just sold a house not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
And basically the buyer came in and said, I saw the video, I saw the Facebook ad, I saw everything.
So I want to talk about that. Let's use that house as like a specific case study. I met with that homeowner a couple months ago, I've been talking to him for a while, knowing that their home sale was coming. So we did preliminary photos. You did. And we did some preliminary video. We actually walked around the lake. We did video and pictures. And that was just for pre-launch. That wasn't even the listed product that really went out to the public. So that was, I mean, that alone was, I mean, more than a dozen hours of just being on site, moving stuff around, perfecting the lighting, and what else? What went into that?
I think the biggest thing that I look for, so when I walk up to a house or, and I'm visualizing what I'm going to create or what we're going to put together, I'm really just looking for what's the story behind the house. And for example, the one we just sold, the story was the open floor plan. It was wide open. It was beautiful.
9-foot ceilings.
Yep. You can go from the living room to the kitchen and, basically you can be cooking and watching TV at the same time on your big screen. And that, I mean, it was just such an easy selling point.
Yeah.
However, there are some other houses that don't necessarily have that big selling point. And so
you got to find it.
Yeah, you have to dig a little bit harder to find.
Or you even have to create it.
Yeah.
Just give everybody an example. I go down to the level of detail that I want to make sure all of your light bulbs match and are the same color. Because it does make a dramatic difference in photography, lighting.
Lighting is everything in photo and video. I mean, an idiot can photograph good light.
Yeah.
Like
and there's no shortcut.
Yeah.
There's no cheating it.
For example, we'll set 20 minutes here to set up cameras and lighting and all that. Yep. And then all I do is hit a record button.
Yeah.
And then you just talk. I mean, but the real production happens before you hit the record button.
Yeah.
And that's what Rob does really well is he goes in, he turns all the lights on. He's very meticulous. He'll clean all the countertops off.
So after we do a pre-launch, so here's what I tell people. I treat this no different than Nike treats a tennis shoe or Apple treats an iPhone. I don't walk around a house and take cheap photos with my phone and try to put them out there. Like, I have a pro. We do professional photos, videos. We edit. There's so much that goes into post editing in photos, and certainly video is an understatement. We have branded and unbranded.
I mean, if you consider an hour-long shoot, I'm here at your house for probably usually 2.5 hours, for photo and video, but an hour of it's usually video. You can probably say about 6 to 7 hours sometimes to create that video on the back end.
Yeah.
And that's just, sometimes that's just a preliminary, and that's just me coming to Rob saying, here's what it looks like.
Yeah.
What do I need to change to make it,
yeah,
sell?
And in some circumstances, we've even gone back just to shoot one room. Just a different angle, different lighting. Maybe maybe we left a toilet seat up or something, like that. And then, so after we get all of the final product ready, then we launch, and there's so much that goes into, like, first of all, it's an assembly line. So there's a very specific set of things that have to happen, and they have to happen in a specific sequence. And then we go right into, like in the case of this last house, we go right into an open house and kind of pick up where you started from. It was no surprise to me that this one specific buyer came in, was there right at the when the doors opened, and she bought that house that day. And I asked her, I said, so what brings you in today? And she's like, well, I saw this video on my Facebook feed. I had another buyer came in that was a school teacher in that elementary school, and her husband were looking to make a move-up purchase, and they saw it on their Facebook feed. So it's more like, first of all, I don't even like Zillow, but I know people use Zillow, and we've also learned how to make our product, your home, look the best, because I treat it like a dating app.
Well,
people are swiping left or swiping right, and you want somebody who's going to swipe in your favor to save that, and they're constantly comparing you to the other houses, and you've just got to be the best looking.
Very much less corporate.
It's kind of like, here's what I think of it. It's like you get a Christmas card from your company that has a computer generated signature, versus this Christmas card that was hand signed from somebody that really matters to you. Well, one's going in the trash and one's going to go on your little Christmas card stand. And so we want to make sure that our brand and our signature, it really shows up whenever we're out there showing homes to the general public.
And all of this comes back to making your home sell.
That's right.
Sale or you help, find the right home too. You know, that they're both, one and the same. But that's the whole goal behind everything is we're not trying to, we're trying to represent you in the best light and from however long you've been doing this, and then
15 years.
however you add my short, very small career on top of that. From our experience, this is what's worked the best and been the best.
Yeah.
So that's where the direction we're going with it.
Well, look, I appreciate you. I'm glad you're part of the Shanks Realty Group team, and I know my customers really appreciate what you do too. And people really don't know just
what goes behind the scenes. But,
oh my gosh, it's crazy.
That's what it's supposed to be. You don't go to Qdoba where I just got my food and think you don't want to see what went into getting that food to my plate. I just want the damn food.
Yeah, you just want it served nice.
I just want the finished product, and that's what we do.
Awesome. High five. Well, hey, thanks for joining us this week, episode 3 with Kitchen Talk. And we'll see you again at the same time next week. Have a great one.